Later. Yeah, just Britt, you're up.
All right, let me just see. Oh, something. Oh, it might have just clicked over for some reason. We don't know. We'll just watch it.
Welcome to Sacred Grounds.
What's this?
With Dan Brady as the current host of this, the longest running open mic in the known and unknown universe. Serving up good food and fine poetry since 1972. Let's have a big hand for Teddy and Fiona, our hosts. And please support this reading by enjoying the food and drink served here.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Poetry of all kinds, ladies and gents, is welcome here. We respect the mic. That means keeping conversations to a minimum and to a slight whisper. Putting phones on mute, vibrate, or our airline mode. Not disturbing the poet while they're speaking. Walking in front of them, say. And keeping to the time limit, usually only 5 minutes. But that can change rapidly. Please note our streaming link. It's handy in 5 ways. Why you can view conveniently enough from home. Family or friends can see you live for the first time. Or later on want to hear so-and-so's poem again.
Good old so-and-so.
You can. Do a self-critique. No problemo, mi amigo.
Thank you.
And it is a way to put out the word, yours, mine, or ours. And that brings us to our ongoing theme. Never doubt that a small group of committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Margaret Mead. The evening theme is?
Oh, the evening's theme is appetite. Appetite.
We're pleased to say our feature is?
Patrice Hahn, who was just here, and she's bringing things in, and I will have her introduce her formally when she comes back.
Who will give the Queen's Wave
when
tonight.
She returns.
And the keynote?
Buford
Munson.
While our mini feature?
Me.
David Erdreich.
And the last word is?
Bob Gordon.
Bob Gordon.
And now for our fabulous door prizes.
Ladies and gentlemen, The Making of a Poet, the revised edition by Eileen Ward, John Keats. Mary Oliver, Dream Work, Hate and Extremism in 2017. Nice article in here, some nice interesting fact. The Lights of Earth by Gina Bellot. Hope I said that right. If you like Noam Chomsky, here's Noam Chomsky, Propaganda and the Public Mind. And then Billy Collins, Sailing Alone Around the Room. So there they are.
Sailing along around the room.
That's the title. I just read them. I don't make them up. I mean, I make them. Anyway, so those are the door prizes.
Oh, if you wish to record someone, ask permission.
Please.
We will assume you've done so should any of us notice recordings being made.
Thank you very much. Give them a round, please.
Buford, you're up.
Buford, our keynote.
What is it? What do I do?
Well, you read a poem by somebody else.
Okay.
All right. And then you signed in for the open also, right? If you didn't sign in, we'll put you in for the open also, because you do the keynote always does the open mic as well.
So I'm going to put you on the open too, Buford.
Okay.
All right.
This is by Langston Hughes.
Just get close.
Who I adore. I play cool and dig all jive. That's the reason I stay alive. My motto as I live and learn is to dig and be dug in return. And the title of it was Motto.
All right. Motto, M-O-T-T-O, right?
All right, Rob.
Okay. All right. Rob is kicking off the open, please. Get him on. Oh, what? You want to sign in? Okay, there we go. Give him a round of applause. He's the first one on the open mic. Come on, we get up out there. I can't even. I could probably fall asleep by now. Pardon me. Oh, I thought someone was shushing me. They should have. I should have.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right. Appetite.
Yeah.
Start off the appetite. Here we go. This is a poem called Sensualist. We've got 5 senses. The rest is ballyhoo. Bags of electrified water, squirting babies and poo. So here's to all we hear and smell, all that we taste, feel and see. A salute to sensations gross and sublime, a Homo sapiens symphony. Indulgence is the stuff of life, a banquet or pulsating shower. Be it eating or making love, be sure to give me an hour. Our biggest organ lets us touch. Little eyes dominate our race. You've heard of the blind and deaf, but not those who can't smell or taste. Let me look upon a naked woman who's looking upon starry night. Let me look upon nature's tempests and lesbians getting it right. Let me hear laughter and monkeys, the drums of a rhythm circle thumping, Beethoven and Bohemian Rhapsody, and neighbors happily humping. Let me smell evergreens and babies, hot cookies and lawns freshly mown. Let me inhale my lover and farts, but only mine own. Let me taste honey, sweet, sweet honey, though taste be not separate from smell. Coconut, pineapple, blueberry, black olive, and tofuti with magic shell. And touch, oh touch, of thee I sing. In touch doth life disappear. Be I but touched like a tiny babe, life hath no sting, nor fear. Foot rubs, back rubs, neck rubs, you may rub anything I've got. Suck them ears, lick them toes, ah, there's the spot. Piggybacks, hugs, a buzz cut. Touch is the heal-all, my creed. Massage, spoons, wrestling, little else do I find I need. Here's to them all, the 5 sensibrations. If you've only got 4, that'll do. 1 sense at a time, or all jumbled up. I'm a sensualist, through and through. And this one is called Lost Planet. Welcome to the Lost Planet, where inhabitants pretend they're not here. Behold the milling multitudes who absent themselves from this sphere. Look at all these fine folk in bars, numbing their pain and remorse, or wanting only to fuck and forget how this world went so off course. Compassion dulled, acuity a no, drinking pleasure till they're sick. No longer human, just a walking, talking impersonation of a swizzle stick. And now they play video games. It's as real to some as life. Being anywhere but here is their answer to all this strife. And in the embrace of God comes the rejection of self. Half in heaven, half on earth, you're just a lump on life's shelf. reality shows with no reality, clown rodeos of animal brutality, antidepressants and Viagra, that's a cocktail for carnality, candy for our bellies, candy for our eyes, candy for our nose, candy for our thighs. We've checked out of life, only predators remain. Our species has left no forwarding address. Come sit in the acid rain.
Thank you. That's Rob. Oh, Karen Melander McGoon, ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. Our teacher has entered the house. Please say Patrice Hahn, give her a round of applause. Wave so they know who you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Owen.
We've been waiting for that.
Owen, you're next.
All right, here we go.
Appetite. Okay.
Appetite.
I did think of a little sort of a tongue twister I wrote once. Do you know how to make a stew? Tomatoes and cabbage and corn. Reduce the sauce with wine. Add tofu and beans and a dough with pansies. Handy. Having a garden out under the sun so we all can have fun. If you ask me to make you a stew, doodly doodly doo. You notice that's a vegetarian stew. The right kind of appetite. And then I realized that that we had a theme last year or something that had something to do with hey, hazy strawberry moon. I'm not sure which part of that was the theme, but I thought of strawberries, so that's appetite too. Hey, haze of the mini moon, glancing over the balcony wrapped in silk fog. Hey, haze of the not yet full mini moon, gazing from the farthest point of her ellipsis. Hey, mini moon, hazy reminder of strawberry season. Strawberry moon, hey, hazily floating over our dreams. I noticed your hat. You have a hat that says strawberry on it, so I thought that was, I almost wanted to wear that one. Okay. The pillow. We're through with the appetite bit. The pillow had forgotten why she was there, scrunched in the corner. She tried to remember her purpose. So many pillows, her companions, friends in a sense, all waiting to be hugged or sat upon. Some had fallen to the floor, others were tidily displayed. Some looked like remnants of a pillow fight, and some looked just cozy, trying not to be forgotten. Weather forecast. Today rain was forecast, foggy, soggy, pouring rain, but the rain forgot. He was busy soaking up all the moisture he could find to fill his pockets, grabbing all the drops he could find, stuffed them in his shirt, soaked his socks with them, and then simply hung darkly in the sky, wondering if he was supposed to wring himself out or just hang there. Ecstatic dash of sun. A grid beyond my window sparkles, hurting my eyes, white. Bright echo of sunlight shines indomitably. A single dash of ecstatic light remains glowing, showing only light, spreading as shadows tread quietly, led by Icarus falling from the sun into lengthening shades of gray. Synthetic time. Time is timeless and yet measured as we would measure thought, love, minutes. A synthetic reminder of constraints we place on others, others place on us, forgetfulness, memory, stasis, growth, early, late, loss, gain, remain, now, timeless, time. The children are afraid. A boy asks his mother after a new president is elected who says he will make America great, "Mother, will we be killed?" He is an immigrant from Mexico. He is 6 years old and he is afraid. He came from a neighborhood across the southern border where his mother and he had to run away because there were too many guns from America that were shooting his friends. Now his new president says he is not wanted. He is afraid of the night, afraid of tomorrow. Fear is his security blanket. It is all he knows. He only knows fear. I wrote this November of last year.
Oh.
November 7th.
Oh, wow.
Closet door. The slats in the sliding closet door look all the same, proceeding horizontally across the door, each succeeding the other vertically, regimentally, and yet through shadows and light, each reflecting different whites and grays, spots of dust, scratches, marks of time. Seemingly changeless, and yet each moment different, like each memory proceeding from my thoughts, new and old, never caught in a static light or shade, toned in worry, colored in regret, softly lighted, with the white of happy moments, veiled in dust and scarred with gentle anguish. Discarding memories. My first latte sits next to me, waiting to be my second latte. I walk among papers and things needing sorting, needing attention, needing love, perhaps, remembrance, a place to live, or find new homes to be recycled into some kind of substance to be renewed, become new, fresh paper or things people will love, or sort, or give attention, or share with others, create new memories from things and paper I discard reluctantly.
Thank you. Karen Melinda McGoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, and don't go.
It's
okay. Across here.
Sharon. Let's see.
What?
This is a
A-R-N-S.
I got that.
Okay. What about our
Well, swapped it, but the steps in that.
Oh, that's Hal Robbins. Hal Robbins. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Owens. Thank you. Without the hat part of it.
I don't have a memory.
Yeah.
You're right here. This is my newest poem. Starbucks. Days pass by one, time and space, more time and space. The wind whistles like a locomotive passing us by, like the movie, the greatest show on earth. Stop, stop, don't you see the lights? I feel like an elephant trainer waving his arms for his would-be loved one, the girl in the flying trapeze. This poem is the greatest show on earth. Soon on Broadway it will be. Shoot time, shoot time. I'm an impetuous bad man, shouting an eternal opera. Cinco de Mayo. An electric wail sighs through the wall. Triumphant pizzicato travels like a snake along the traffic, parks up to the quiet ghost of a different muse. Cupid's lips arise to the dance of flashing flamenco heels. Chateaulet senors y senoritas, in the smoky quiet of the lateness of the afternoon, of the torpid sullen flamenca, passing into the lightness of the cobra-like coilings, into the suffering evening. Senoritas, throw a rose from your lace mantilla to the cold gaze of the matador. Muleta poised under his chin in the hot afternoon bull ring, bowing and scraping for a kill. Litany of sound. My spirit races back and forth on the mind of the SS Orizaba, chasing after the ecstasy of Hart Crane's metaphors. A lady on the bus stares at me. Lust or anger. My mind rolls in on a porphyro of reason. A large eye staring at the roar of a party. The lake of fire stares through the eye of stormblood. My mind becalmed there in the eye of the eternal calm of midday doldrums. The eye of the dragon poised on the eyelids of a grain of sand at the calm of the end of a brackish day. horses, the clouds of daylight, my gaze of studied abandon, in the quiet of a North Beach afternoon. Jack Kerouac has the baleful eye of the hero of spontaneous prose. Lawrence Ferlinghetti, would-be St. Francis of Assisi. Hail Monarch of North Beach letters. Ash-Kent metaphors form on the icicles of his eyelids. My mind that loves loose ends, chasing the birds of would-be whimsy, of would-be fancy, into the voice of the evening. To Glenn Gould, because of the keyboard of endless imagination, from his fingering into the night of his very own Bach of endless harmonic persuasion of the saintly psyche, of time and the grace of being, of the quiet severity of his mastery set aside from his wings sent to heaven, and from his very own sighs of angels. Alienated from my own poems, from my own use of language, metaphors pass by. Images like flowers that droop in the desert, an alternative to her holy God, struck a radical, terrible, swift blow. To Vassar Miller, life a reductum ad absurdum, the brain a vast reducing valve, my metaphors walking alongside me like Old Testament oxen, suffer a sea change, becalmed in the vast doldrums of space. You came to me like a vision, like a lady espoused saint full of cunning simplicity and the long flowing senses of your company, and southern lace curtains, the small town of midday quiet and elegance. Soar above me like a dominion, my angel of language.
Thank you, Mr. Owen.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Tommy.
Tommy, have a cool maker. Give him a round, please.
Followed by Bob Gordon.
So last Friday was World AIDS Day, and I want to do two pieces in honor of all of the folks who have died.
Close them out.
Too many people gone, don't look back. Too many vanished faces, scratched out addresses, unfinished conversations. Too many here today, gone tomorrow. Too many regrets. I didn't even know he was sick. Too many obits taped to the kitchen wall. Too many tears in the middle of the night when sleep never showed up. Too many people who wanted us all dead. Lot's wife was lucky. I look back and I turn to rage. I'm going to end with a monologue that I wrote in 1986 and used to do a lot, must have done about 100 times back then. I don't have it memorized anymore. I used to have it memorized. Did you ever feel so helpless you couldn't even cry? You want to scream, but you know if you do, you'll never stop screaming. I have this chair in my room. My roommates know that when I'm sitting in it, don't bother me. I've been sitting in this chair a lot lately. I went to see Tony today. He didn't recognize me at first. Hell, I don't think he recognized me at all. The nurses are getting better. They're still leaving his food out of reach, but at least it's in his room. A few days ago, I came to visit and I found his food tray outside his door. I marched right over to that nurse's station and I said, "What the hell's that food tray doing outside of his room?" The nurses were afraid to go into his room. His family's no better. Tony called his brother, the priest, and asked him to talk to their mama about coming to visit him. The good father said the family talked it over and we don't think it's appropriate for mama to visit. Tony laughs about it. He calls himself the leper. But I know it gets to him. Sometimes when I hold him, I know he's not shaking from the fever. We grew up together, me and Tony. We were best friends in school. After graduation, we sort of drifted apart. We ran into each other again at a gay dance at the University of Pennsylvania. Our first public event together was the 1973 Gay Pride March in New York. That was the year that Bette Midler showed up and she sang, "Ah, you got to have friends, our feelings all so strong. You got to have friends." Tony worshipped Bette Midler. He bought all of her records. He even went to see her at the Tubs, you know, the gay baths. He used to do impersonations of her in drag shows. He was amazing. But I never told him how truly amazing he was. I guess I was a little jealous. I wish I had told him. His mama said, "It's a good thing your papa's not alive, because he'd die of embarrassment right now." Tony said, "There's nothing to be ashamed of. I caught a virus." It's the way you got it, Tony. It's the way you got it. Do you know that his best friend Vinny won't even come to see him? He said Tony shouldn't have been sleeping around so much. But Tony always said that love is the only kind thing we do for each other. Tony needed a lot of kindness. I went to see him today. He must be 90 pounds. He used to lift weights. I used to kid him about being a clone, you know, like those gay guys in the Castro. He'd say, "Don't knock success, honey." He wants me to help him die. I promised him that if it ever got to this, I'd do it. But I can't. I can't give up hope. Forgive me, Tony. Please. And please, just die soon. Thank you.
All right. You have a call to make that. Thank you.
You first. We're up again.
You've been coming back for the open mic. The keynote always does that, just so you know.
Tina and Tegan. Today, my daughter Tina, actually my stepdaughter, is 45 years old. When she was 9, we were at odds. Now, as her mother and I go into our 16th year of separation and divorce, we're friends. She lives in Santa Monica raising my step-granddaughter Tegan, who is 11, who's a skating whiz. This year is like every other year. I write to my 2 favorite young people on Facebook on a weekly basis. They are lovely.
Stephanie, you're up. Followed by Britt. Stephanie first, Britt.
Stephanie, then Britt, and then give her a round, please, as we go. Nicely done. Co-host of La Promenade, the open mic on the first Saturday every month at La Promenade Cafe. Just so you know.
Last Saturday
Yeah,
at Mike Q and Greg.
Ripped open a can of everything.
So I'm going to read. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost, which I think Hal Robbins has read a couple of times here, and I just love the poem. So here it goes. And then I shall donate the book.
Yeah.
2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler. Long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
We
should really have a Robert
You
Frost.
have 2 spots in the second half. I don't
focus on that.
You don't. Oh, thank you. All right. And this has been brought, is part of the now famous door prize collection. Okay, Brent. You're up.
President Kennedy's poet laureate.
Yeah, Robert Frost. All right, the mighty Brit. Give him a round of applause, please. Give him a round here. Thank you. More than a round, give him a square or a rectangle.
Yeah. Crazy Riches. Beethoven's Ninth Symphony over Sunday morning coffee in a California living room. Klemperer moves his hand. Beethoven moves his hand. Being deaf doesn't matter. Being old doesn't matter. It's starting now, the cellos. The interior imagery, wind through continual trees, rivers swelling, the coming down from the mountain, the narrow trail, young men, young women, their joyous procession, their fiery resolve, sunlight on their shoulders. Beethoven's flailing march in full sway, ink-stained charts, orchestras founded, effort and applause blooming in that forward-leaning century. Tamalpais, the gate and bay, through this window, good coffee, his music heard. This is from a hike taken to one of Kenneth Rexroth's famous spots, Devil's Gulch. Microscopic communities flourish within the maw of Moloch. Girls fashioning their own lives, motorcycles and waterfalls, earrings and Irish whiskey, crackers and white cheese. Away from the highway, the monster will one day fall from view. The Wadleys dreamed it. Santayana suggested as much. And the Rexroth line, we will not see it. That corruption wafted away, the corporate beast subdued, the flowing canopy of peace growing.
Thank you, Britt. And now I come to you as you come to me, as we come together. Hookookachook. All right. So, the theme is appetite, and this poem, a recent piece, is appropriate, and the follow-up piece is not appropriate, so it'll be the follow-up piece. Let me turn this thing a little loud there. All right. Okay. So this is called The Lover of All Lovers. I always have to this is not what you think. You know what I mean? Oh, she knows what you, I, or anyone wants, and then provides it. And how? You want savory? She'll crush pungent herbs and spices between billion-year-old rocks, use Jurassic salts along with olives, mustard, and a dash of raw cane juice the way ancient mamas used to do. She'll cut, slice, sear, sizzle, scald, roast, bake, turn, and burn, then bejesus, she'll serve it up steaming hot, and just the smell will have your belly groaning in expectation as she slides that full platter on down. She'll wink at you, looking dreamy love into your longing eyes as you smell it up. And you fall too, and you begin to pray fervently to God Almighty, tears in your eyes because you just can't believe how good it is. And when you stop just long enough to take a breath, you also sloppily garble a call, motioning for even more. Yes,
This lovely world of ours is the chief cook and bottle washer, concierge, major domo, procurer, sales pitcher to beat the band, and mind, she can put anything on the menu. And she does. Even you. Yeah? When your time comes, or you've gotten a little too slow, fat, or ripe for the plunking, she'll yank you out of your tank, scald off the hair, run a slit from throat to crotch, strip you off skin naked, and shuck out your guts. And take a step back and smile. Entrails slop into the gut bucket, then all business-like she'll get you quartered, severed into sections, chop off the choice pieces, and sliver them into fillets before dipping them into and out of the cauldron of thick, burbling fat, spices, blood, and oil to get it good and coated. Oh, she'll hold it up admiringly and spit it and roast it over an open fire of seasoned wood. Yep. Brushing on her secret sauce, sprinkling the condiments, all while someone big, really big, and roaringly ravenous, a friggin' monster of a man who sits not all that far away, whose nostrils flare at the savory scent as he gobbles from a trencher, whose grumbling gut can be seen making its moves, turning in expectation. Oh yeah, he is rude, rough-hewn, slow-eyed, slovenly, loud, and proud. And she has an eye for him, has her own thoughts, oh baby. She admires his appetite as he drunkenly pounds the table, gesticulating for even more of you. Appetite now. And so this segues into the political realm. You'll remember a recent story from Texas about a person who goes nuts with a gun, as if there's not that many. But anyway, this is called As Good as It Gets in Texas. What will it take? Not the butchered 6-year-old school children in Florida. No. Not that bus full of schoolgirls, Girl Scouts. Nope. Not the dozens of dancers in a nightclub. No. Not even the hundreds killed or wounded as a music festival. No. All those stories that just pop up, touch you with horror, and then vanish. So, what will it take? It's funny how white folks just don't get it. Their men go bejesus Yahoo batshit fucked up crazy, spending welfare money on body armor, the best guns, lots of them, along with tens of thousands of rounds of ammunition, go on a hella killing spree, and still they don't get it. They just don't get it. That something is wrong. Something very big, huge, is damn fucking wrong. And it's something so righteously wrong and so friggin' big that the whole world can see it. From where they live, they can't help but see it, hear it. And all they can do really is shake their heads. Because they get it, and have for some long time now. Everyone else out there knows, but not here. Nope. Not happening. We just go on and on, same old, and who is surprised anymore? I mean, really. I mean to say, who? And what gets done? Nothing. Yada, yada, yada. Talking head, yada, yada, yada. So send them your prayers, folks, because that's about as good as it gets in Texas. Thank you.
Not that someday someone will do something different. Roland? Are you new here, Roland?
I am.
Okay, give him the team, and ladies and gentlemen, come on, Roland!
Roland! Tomatoes and
Roland! I just, I lose control. I'm sorry.
Yes.
My mom will tell me about that. And
I'm not a poet yet, but I have hopes. Maybe next year. But I do write about poetry. And I write every once in a while. I do one. So last couple 3 years ago, I got into Shakespeare sonnets, and I learned about some of the Shakespeare sonnets. And it turns out the first 17 Shakespeare sonnets are very appropriate for this appetite theme.
Okay, just get really close.
Okay. So Shakespeare wrote 154 sonnets, and the first 17 are about hopping in the sack, spreading the seed, and settling down to marriage, all for one purpose: to celebrate the song of thyself, Walt Whitman style, to procreation. We guys owe it to ourselves to make little copies of ourselves, and how could any untilled womb refuse by husbandry or some such? Then I learned about iambic pentameter and that, because you're all poets, you all know that stuff. So, although the exhortations in these procreation sonnets, the first 17, verge on preaching, there's not a hint of religion in them, because it's Shakespeare. It's not a vision of marriage and procreation for the glory of God. It's all about the glory of me, as Harvey Weinstein might have said. They are concerned with youth, beauty, and the celebration thereof, the loss of beauty. They're lusty and full of life. And as I read through these, I thought the best one of the lot of these 17 was Sonnet 12. And so here was Sonnet 12, these procreation sonnets. And it's got that beat, right? It's da 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 da. When I do count the clock that tells the time, and see the brave day sunk in hideous night, when I behold the violet past prime, and sable curls all silvered o'er with white, when lofty trees I see barren of leaves, which erst from heat did canopy the herd, and summer's green all girded up in sheaves, borne on the bier with white and bristly beard, then of thy beauty do I question make, that thou among the wastes of time must go. Since sweets and beauties do themselves forsake, and die as fast as they see others grow, and nothing gainst time's side can make defense, save breed, to brave him when he takes thee hence. All the others are much more obvious about the procreation theme. This one here kind of sneaks up on you. So I tried a hand of doing it myself, and I found it was easy enough to get the couplets and to get the rhyming pattern down that he has, but it's awfully hard to do all of that and get the da. So I cheated across my couplets, as you'll see. But it's again, I'm going to dedicate this to Al Franken. Boys just want to have fun. The Creation Sonnets Manifesto, Shakespeare's desperate cry of Henry VIII, was lost on his daughter at Monte Cristo. The Count, his heart consumed with schemes of hate, takes revenge, although blessed with fortune, when what matters for him lies in the spleen. Present beauty is not what's opportune. And Elizabeth, the Virgin Queen, her fairest beauty has never died, no tender heir to bear her memory, yet her life is fulfilled and not belied by lack of issue or end of dynasty. All beauty should have its day in the sun, yes, because boys, we just want to have fun.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bob Dewhurst.
Bob Dewhurst is next.
Who is that again?
Thank you, Roland.
Is it Roland? Is it Nichols?
Nicholas, yes. Thank
Oh,
you.
Nicholas.
Yeah.
Nickles.
N-I-K.
Nickles. All right. Well, thank you, Bob.
All right. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. I'm working on a memoir, The Ballad of Bundy Nobody. And These are two rough sketches. I may have read them before. This one's Fire Escape. It was the year we finally came down to San Francisco, me and Barb. We left Humboldt County in the middle of the night on a Greyhound bus as we felt we were in danger, like the dope dealers were going to shoot us like deer. When we walked down the dirt road, we lived 22 miles out of town. We jumped behind a tree when the trucks came by. We hiked further and further down into the wilderness, but intuition told us it was time to go. There was no work anyway. I'd lost so much weight living on buckwheat noodles in our little horse trailer on the hilltop that I was as thin as a strand of barbed wire. We climbed off the Greyhound bus at 4 in the morning at Clown Alley in San Francisco. The first few nights we slept out in Golden Gate Park with our backpacks with Barbie, my first wife, although we weren't married yet. We roamed the streets and along the shores of Ocean Beach. Her ex-husband had come up the previous season to help us harvest our marijuana. We hired him and his friend to help pick the buds. We ate psilocybin mushrooms, stayed up for days in our small horse trailer, furtively trimming the 12-foot plants which hung upside down from the roof, and the wood stove was piping and an early driving rain was thumping on the canvas roof. Racks of screens had been built in the corner, and we laid the buds in to dry them out quickly so we could conceal them. Our hands were coated with the hash resin we rolled into little temple balls and smoked continuously. Her ex, Rick, left with his friend for San Francisco with a bag of keef, which was the little tendrils from the sensimilla buds which fell through the screens on the floor, and we raked or swept bags full for him. When they got back to San Francisco, they said they considered going to a mental hospital because they were so stoned on this keef. They called it Shakti pot. Uh-oh. Anyway, we were down on the street in a cold, blustery, foggy winter with a backpack full of weed and no money, so it was our turn to knock on Rick's door. And they had a flat off Valencia Street full of acid heads. They'd lay on the floor and drip pure LSD with an eyedropper from a bottle into each other's eyes and roll around kicking and screaming in ecstasy. This was all too much for us. We moved out on the fire escape so we could get some sleep because I had to get up at 3:30 in the morning to walk downtown and wait on the street for a bus to come by that would pick us up to deliver leaflets and advertising sales at markets or up and down the streets or whatever. Usually they paid $8 to $12 a day. And they didn't pick everybody, and I didn't get any work usually, so Barb and I'd go up to Union Square and sell a few reefers so we could buy burritos that day. I finally got a job working at a bakery on Mission Street, and I'd never been a baker. I was all spaced out from having been smoking sensimilla bud for 24/7 for the last 6 months, and I couldn't remember the recipes. As I made the 30-pound carrot cakes and apple cakes, I'd be cracking eggs into the mix and suddenly forget, uh-oh, how many did I just put in there? So every morning I'd go in half hour early so I could stuff myself with walnuts and chocolate chips and dried fruits from the 5-gallon buckets that we used for ingredients for the baked goods. All of my recipes failed. Rather than throw them away, I'd take them home and the acid heads would eat them during the middle of the night, stoned out of their brains, licking the goo off their fingers and exclaiming how good it was. Before we left Humboldt County, we came to San Francisco to try it out, leaving our black Labrador goose up in the mountains with some friends, but she freaked out and ran away and had been shot by a hunter. So when we came back to the mountains, she was lost in the snow for a week, and she appeared at the door with a weakly wagging her tail, with the .308 hollow point bullet had made a hole in her side the size of a frying pan, showing her intestines like the visible dog. And we nursed her with comfrey tea and golden seal, so we took her down the street, and San Francisco walked her around wearing a t-shirt, and scouts from the Vietnamese restaurants wanted to buy her for $50 to put her on the menu, but no dice. So we all lived on the fire escape. I wanted to dye one of my work shirts red, so we put it in the washing machine, but somehow the plumbing was all screwed up and it backed up into the dishwasher and turned all the plates red. It seemed strangely significant, as if everything in my life was covered with the blood that we'd escaped by leaving those mean dope rollers.
Thank you, Bob. See, Bob, the timing was perfect.
All right. Well, now we come to one of my favorite parts of the evening, where I introduce the feature of the evening and publicly heap praise upon this person until they blush or tell me, "Oh no, stop! Please stop." So, Patrice Hahn, I can't remember how we met. How did we meet? I'm trying to think. Oh, here. Was it? It's San Francisco Peace and Hope, the anthology. Yes. So she was in that anthology, and we had them come here to have poets from that anthology present on the mic and honor the publication. And she was part of that. And I said, "Oh my God, we should have you as a feature," so to speak. And she said, "Well, sure." And that was the first time she was here. And oh yes, I will do that. Thank you. To make a long story longer, since I have time, a wide range of topics and subject matter. And she's not only a poet, she sings, songwrites, and plays beautiful, beautiful, heavenly music. And it's going to be a real treat. She's setting up, and that's going to be fun. The thing that I was amazed by when she told me this, I didn't know this at first, she told me that she goes into hospitals and sets up her harp and plays it at different locations in the hospital for the healing effect of the beautiful, beautiful music. And they pay her. You know? I mean, you're doing something for people that's beautiful, wonderful. It has, a record of being proven to be effective, and it's a wonderful way. I mean, this is part of her livelihood. And then she has the poetic voice and the singing voice and a heart made of gold. So she is almost ready. I'm giving Nancy what else is. Oh, if you're on the mailing list, then I put a set of links out there. Those are all beautiful. They showcase her magnificently. And if you're on Facebook, you can go to the Sacred Grounds Facebook page, and the links are posted there as well. So, instant transformation. Everything is so beautiful. Now, do you want me to keep on going?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
I'm going to put my mic on.
Okay. She's going to put her mic on. And you want to put the mic on this. So you want to take this and put it over there? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Don't worry. Hasten not.
Hasten not.
Hasten not. It's the name of my favorite author, Hasten Not. Sorry. I don't know how do you want to... I will now move to the side.
Your patience is admirable, everybody.
Well, she appreciates your patience, and you will appreciate the stellar event about to unfold before your very wondering eyes. We'll put this set too, and then we'll...
Can you make it smaller?
Yeah, I'll
Please.
Yeah.
A little bit big for the... I want to get the harp in there too.
Oh, you want me to...
I want to get the harp. Yeah, please.
Do it.
That's good. That's good.
And then just a little bit.
I got it.
There we go. There we go. Comfortable?
Holy Moses.
Oh.
Thanks, you guys.
So now we can give her a nice round of applause. Welcoming Patrice Hahn. Thank you so much.
I love coming here. I'm so knocked out by the community and the language and the passion and the vision. It's going to save the world, you guys. It's going to save the world. So I'm going to make one political statement. Gosh, what a surprise in these days. Then I'm going to ask your indulgence, and I'm just going to keep
So you'd like us to forego applauding?
I would like you to forego applause.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm making this assumption you're going to do that, but if you would be so kind as to save it,
We will do that.
that would be really swell. Oh, we have to do a little. In the land of the lizard, there is no art, no light, no generous human heart. There is no room for hope to flower. The lizard lives on blood and power. In the land of the lizard. In the land of the lizard, it's fight or flight. The shuddering heart, the dimming sight, the glut of war, the gorge of stuff. The walls are never high enough. In the land of the lizard. Haven't we tired of this before, and gathered on this very shore to point our prows with torch in hand and leave behind the lizard's land? In the land of the lizard, willful dark, chosen terror, where no spark of kindness melts what once was a heart. A lizard dwells alone apart. In the land of the lizard. In the land of land of the lizard. There are things we do not see. Gravity, molecules, where waves start, ultraviolet, infrared, where roots go, electricity, rhythm, what cats dream, hope, wind, our own backs, the zenith of the hummingbird's parabola, the exact blue or green that someone else sees, the scent of honey that infuses moonlight. The wind brings gifts. A huge, huge wind tears up the hill, turns the tree limbs inside out, pushes the windows open, roars around the corners of the house. Should we get out of bed or go out walking with our arms open wide? The leaves saw the wind coming and ran for their lives. I went for a swim. In my semi-blind state, I thought I was visited by goldfinches or butterflies as the leaves swept down, swept down. What ornaments are these that bend the boughs? Hearts of stars, a common parent admit, yet no flame so fierce emblazoned autumn harvests of my tangy childhood trees' promised drunken revelry. Comes no careful husbander, no wife, these polished globes keep close their proper routes, till ravens and rejoicing fat raccoons plunder compelling sweetness, and what's left at last but sepal brooches, barren limbs, and the name persimmon, like promised kisses on pursed lips. The lector reads, "You cannot conquer the ocean." As I look at the new sun pouring light across the clouds, glinting gold over lavender, filling the watching pine's arms with bright needles, I think, neither can you conquer the sun, nor emotions. Nor turbine-driven thoughts. We are creatures of this place, and must wait for light, for understanding that comes all momentary, pushes fogs from our dim valleys, crowns our waiting peaks victorious. Stepping on the heels of my shadow, I walk with the rising sun down the mountain. True to its promise, day has returned. So simple, so reliable. My heart beats easy, restored by this covenant of light. And there, by the verge, brightness is caught, multiplied in a branch of tiny spangles, tiniest butterflies of flame orange and yellow, a single blooming twig of broom to sweep out the old year. And above it, what's nestled close to the scaly trunk of an ancient pine? Sakura, wild cherry blossom to crown the new day. The tiniest jewels are most precious to the impoverished eye. My love wants a solstice poem, a prophecy. I go climbing in the hills in the dark, seeking some truth worthy, some truth worthy. His look is the morning sun, returning, burning off clouds, filling the bowl of the bay with Navajo blue. His arms are limbs of an ancient pine, supporting me. I rest against the heavy trunk and watch the sun take the sky, blinded and comforted. Is this prophecy or prayer? I cannot see for the brightness. My hands are slashed from gathering up the shards of my private sorrows. My arms straining to hold the earth bowl whole are ribbons fluttering your names, lost ones. Lost drops of blood spell your footprints in snow and crust in newly desert places. I place feathers and pebbles on the stumps of grandmother trees, sing to whales, bears, and the moon, build toad palaces and worm warrens, any dance to wake myself. Children, the machinery of the world is grinding to a halt without the grease of our belief, the solvent of shared stories. Only honey, howls, and holy capers can break us open, split the bossed shield that guards the roaring heart, crack the outgrown carapace, reveal unshelled the shivering sliver of soul we house in this starship of bone and clay. Sky is smoke, wind is ash, rising sun's aglow. This time flood, the next time fire. How are we to know? Is this the way we pay for our sins, like the old-time preacher said? Flaming wrath brings a worldwide moan. We brought it on our head. No one imagines end times will come while we chase our little dreams. Those breaths we count from first to last are very few, it seems. We close our eyes and starve our ears, play our games instead. The sky is smoke, the stars are ash, and tonight the moon is red. Sky is smoke, wind is ash, rising suns aglow. This time flood and the next time fire. How do we know? In the crackle of stars and the shivering wind, cold as any night I've known, in the dark of the year, in the depth of the dark, numbing the mind and cracking the bones, what's a soul to do? What choice have you got but to sing? In the dark of despair, in the land of forlorn, desolate and bleak and stark, in the womb of the world, in the heart of the world, every seed lies and waits in the dark. What's a soul to do? What choice have you got but to sing? Sing the light up. Find a spark. The smallest spark will do. Sing the heart up. Make a start. The smallest part will do. Sing the sun up. It will come up and light the world anew. And sing your soul up. Sing your soul up. Sing your song. Sing the soul back into the world. Sing it.
Oh, I thought she was gonna do something else, but she wants to include her performance with that. So I wasn't sure. So I'd make sure she was okay. You're okay.
I'm okay.
There we go. Give her a nice round, ladies and gentlemen. The magical, the marvelous, the wonderful, magical, marvelous. Do you have like a CD or anything with you that people?
I brought a few. Yeah.
Oh, so she has some CDs. Talk to her on the break. We're going to pause this thing so you can talk amongst yourself with freedom. We'll be back in about 7 minutes or 8. Talk to her. Talk to yourselves. Schmooze. Don't break any windows. And collections for the charity of your choice will be in your pocket.
This one?
Yes.